Happy Tuesday. This is Dr. Marina Mangano going over another safe step-by-step yoga pose. Tonight we're going to talk about Chaturanga push-up. So a Chaturanga push-up is comparable to a tricep push-up in the sense that your elbows are really close to your side, and it's going to be built into a lot of sequence transitions. So I see a lot of variety in classes, and we don't always have time as teachers to stop and individually fix a lot of the common cues. So I'll also show a couple of step-by-step ways to strengthen and prepare for this posture. A full Chaturanga push-up is traditionally taught from a plank type pose, and just building the plank is so important. So similar to my video on downward facing dog, fingers are all facing forward, the palms of the hand have good grip and they're nice and even. Toes are tucked underneath, and I'm trying not to sit behind the shoulders. So walk yourself in so your shoulder girdle is on top of your hands, and you have the option and the capability to press, almost lifting yourself forward. So that forward press activates the front body, meaning from the front of my big toes all the way up to the lower abdomen, and then all the way up to the pec muscles and the deep neck flexors. So building a proper plank is step one to a Chaturanga. Then the ability to shift forward so you're on the balls of the feet, activating that front line. Gaze is just at the top of the mat, so the back of the neck is long. Allow the elbows to bend backwards as you slowly drop your body to the mat. If you're not ready to be able to lower that full plank, a lot of times you'll see that shrugging shoulders, where the neck compresses, or the low belly goes first, or you kind of collapse down. So if that's where you're at, that's okay. We all have to get up to the safe levels, but starting by modifying to put the knees down first. And not so much that you're right on the kneecaps. Walk in place so you can be above the kneecaps. May have to bring your hands a little bit more forward. Hands are right under the shoulders. Again, shifting forward, shoulder blades down the back of the neck is long. Allow the full body to be in a plank, just the elbows are bending to the sides and release to the ground. Okay, so that will be your modified plank into Chaturanga. Another thing I'll see that I'll show you from the front is hand placement. As you start to get tired, the palms start to roll open and out to the side. So as you're coming down into the push-up, your hands roll because the gripping mechanism is a little tired. So some people teach a corkscrew method. If that works for you, what we're trying to help you activate though is just the ability to use the inside line of muscle. So a corkscrew method, as you're lowering, you'll feel tension kind of pushing it out to be able to do that. I'd rather full arm system being sucked back in towards your core. So as you're on the ground and you're lowering, you're pulling your elbows, driving the elbows back, and allowing this portion to suck closer towards the core. The last little step I'd like to offer for a Chaturanga push-up is watching the shrug of your shoulders and then the collapse of your shoulder girdle. So if you start too close, your shoulders as you shift forward are going to be really far over the wrists. So as you dump down, there's this dunking mechanism, cervical extension, and a collapse through the glenohumeral capsule. So starting with good placement will take out a lot of that. Hands have to be prepared for you to shift forward, and then the gully in between the shoulder blades, that is probably the best area to focus on the entire time during the Chaturanga. So shift forward, press to the ground to flatten the spine. As you bend the elbows, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing, and let the hips lower at the same time as the shoulders do. As a chiropractor, I think the most important things are not putting too much compression or load on the back of the neck, which you can prevent by bringing the shoulder blades down the back and keeping that gully in between the shoulder blades flattened, as well as a long back of the neck. Don't flip open into upward facing dog or cobra until the Chaturanga is complete. Then you have the support of the ground. So one more time through. Strong fingertips, toes tucked underneath. Shift your weight forward so the shoulder is right over the wrists. Gaze is flat, long back of the neck. Gully flat between the shoulder blades. Bend through the elbows. Hips lower at the same time. as the shoulders do. And then releasing through the rest of your transition. So, a lot of little micro cues tonight, but give it a shot. Let me know if you have any questions, and really take the time, even if you're an experienced yoga practitioner, take the time to refresh, go back and look for some of these areas just to fine tune. Not that you have pain or that you can't do this, but see if there's a way to make it more efficient and for you to decrease the pressure and compression of your joints. Have a great night. I'll see you next week.